Hello. The ancient Egyptians straight-up icons, one of a kind among all the civilizations that ever popped up on planet Earth. They still blow minds today with their science and creations that are still standing. Nobody can deny they were total geniuses in a ton of fields, especially astronomy. One of the wild secrets proving they dominated this area. Something insane smack in the middle of the Libyan desert, way out west of Egypt, about 560 miles from Cairo. Every year, on March 21 at exactly 5:45 a.m. and September 23 at 5:15 a.m., sunlight shoots 500 feet inside a completely sealed pyramid through a super narrow passage in the north wall. The second it hits that passage, boom, explosion of light floods the secret chamber, especially the king's passage, which just sits there in dead silence waiting for it. The glow lasts a few minutes, then fades out slow, and the pyramid chills till the next cycle to do it all over again. But like, what's actually going down? How'd the pharaohs pull off controlling a cosmic event like this and nail the timing that perfect? How'd they, over 4,500 years ago, build an architectural miracle like this with basic tools and iron? Welcome to Ask Away. In this episode, we're answering, how does the sun line up perfectly with King Khufu's passage in the Great Pyramid on the spring and fall equinox? Before we dive in, if you're new here, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell so you never miss a vid. Right in front of the famous Giza Plateau in Cairo, you got three massive pyramids built by the ancient Egyptians. The biggest one, that's Khufu's. The one next to it, a bit smaller, belongs to his son Khafre. The third, even smaller, is for his grandson Menkaure. But here's the thing, Khufu's is the Great Pyramid. The other two were part of a huge funeral complex meant to immortalize the royal family. The Great Pyramids got four perfect triangular faces. It was originally built as a royal tomb to worship the sun god Ra. The second pyramid. That one's got the giant sphinx out front and was dedicated to Horus, god of the sky and kingship. These three, the Giza pyramids, are some of the greatest architectural wonders on Earth. They're made of massive stone blocks, sitting right on the plateau overlooking the Nile. Built around 2580 BC, the Great Pyramid supposedly took 20 years to finish. Here's what goes down in the Great Pyramid. Every March 21 at 5:45 a.m., right after sunrise, something called the solar alignment kicks in. As soon as the sun's up, its rays hit the north face, specifically a tiny passage up high in the wall. When the light hits that passage, it blasts inside the pyramid, spreads through the main corridor for about 500 feet, then sneaks into the king's chamber walls, flooding the whole passage with light. This whole show lasts till 6:05 a.m., then everything goes back to normal, darkness returns. The crazy part. It happens again exactly the same way on September 23 at 5:15 a.m., follows the same script, and fades by 5:35 a.m. The sun only enters that north passage twice a year. That's the real engineering flex, timed and placed perfectly for the spring and fall equinox. Some say those days also sync with cosmic balance. And since these dates were locked in before they even started building, that means they had deep astronomy knowledge and crazy complex math to figure out the exact tilt angle. The wow factor gets even bigger when you realize all these precise astronomical and geographic calculations were done over 4,500 years ago. So any explanation for how they pulled this off? What astronomy and engineering rules did they use to make this weird phenomenon happen? They knew exactly how the sun rose, set, and moved all year, and used it in daily life and religion. The twice-a-year solar alignment in the Great Pyramid is based on something they discovered. The sun doesn't rise due east every day. It slowly shifts north or south, then comes back to true east. This cycle repeats yearly. From this, the Egyptians realized the sun passes over every point on Earth twice a year. The timing depends on the building's location and orientation. So they built the pyramid facing sunrise, made a narrow passage with exact dimensions so on those specific days, light drops straight into the chamber. The next day, the sun's shifted a quarter degree, so the rays miss the passage, hit the wall, and bounce off. Months later it swings back, hits the passage again, and the cycle restarts. Something you might not know. In the 20th century, during pyramid preservation, UNESCO got involved to monitor and protect it from erosion and weather. They documented everything at a safe distance from the original site. You'd think that'd mess up the pharaoh's 4,500-year-old astronomical plans, right? Makes sense. But luckily, researchers and archaeologists already knew about the Khufu passage alignment before any work started. With some simple math they confirmed, as long as they kept the entrance angle pointed at the sun the same way, nothing would mess up the ancient calculations, which depend on the pyramid's location. They preserved it using exact coordinates and standards, keeping the phenomenon alive, with just a tiny shift. The event now happens a few minutes later due to Earth's axis wobble. Bottom line, the ancient Egyptians will always be one of the dopest civilizations that nailed astronomy and engineering in mind-blowing ways. And that's a wrap on today's question. How does the sun align with King Khufu's passage on the spring and fall equinox? If this is your first time here, don't forget to like, subscribe,